Hello and welcome to Self Love Chats. This is where we go live every single Monday and we talk about self love and how it can help you to become the version of yourself that you want to have. If you don't know me, hi, I'm Teresa Boyce, and this is
Oh, and I am Shakisha, guys. I'm sorry. And I am Shakisha, guys. Welcome to the chat. We're glad to be here. We're glad to see you. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Got some good stuff to talk about today for sure.
Yeah, I'm super excited. This is your space to reset, refill your cup, and remind yourself of your worth because we're not just talking about self love as a buzzword, it's the foundation of creating your dream life. And you hear all the people talk about, oh, I just want to have self love, I just want to love myself, but they actually aren't doing the action steps to actually pour into themselves. And this was me back in when I was dating my ex. If you don't know me, I'm a domestic violence survivor. And my ex, my daughter's father, he cheated on me, beat me, did a whole bunch of awful things to me that I just had such low self esteem. He beat it out of me that I would actually believe in myself, that I actually had worth, that I actually bel deserve to be loved well and deserve to be loved. And I neglected and broke promises that I made to myself. And that is something that once I got out of that, got into therapy, and really started working on myself, that I refuse to ever settle for again. And so that's one thing that, and why this is so, I'm so passionate about this whole thing is because I just refuse and hate to see women, my friends, anyone deserve and settle for less than what they deserve.
Yeah, I definitely agree wholeheartedly. I was in a situation not similar, definitely not as not as severe, but it basically kind of shaped who I became. I was in a relationship for a very long time, and that if I knew for a fact I was the type of person that I'm not leaving, you're going to leave me. So when he finally left me, it broke my heart. But honestly, it was the best thing that ever happened to me because I realized I wasn't doing anything for myself. I had nothing to show for. I had nothing to say I was proud of. Nothing to say I have this. But after that, I told myself, never, ever, ever will I allow a situation to put me in a place where I don't have anything for myself to show for because I'm here to live my life no matter if I'm a husband, I'm not a husband, Lord. If I have a husband, but no matter if I'm a wife, a husband, a brother, a sister, or whatever I am, a cat, a dog, I'm here to live the life that I'm chosen to do so, right? Like because so I have to do what I can to make something for myself. So I told myself, everything changed. I told myself, I got to pour more into myself. I didn't love myself. And I didn't notice I didn't love myself until he actually broke up with me. And that was one of the best things that ever happened to me. Like, I realized I needed to do something more for me. And after that, that's when I started stepping into my power, becoming the best me I can, living in the her that I knew I wanted to become.
Yeah, I agree. I 100% understand where you're coming from because when I was the same way, and that's why I stayed way too long. And he was the type that wasn't going to leave me alone until it got to the point where I literally was almost murdered, and my brother had to pull him off of me. I have to finally be like, I have to put myself first. I can't keep my kids in the middle of this. I can't do this to them and let them think that this is what women deserve. And I always thought like, self-love, and I didn't even know what that even meant. I didn't even know that I didn't love myself. I didn't feel like or knew until I was out of the situation
You
that,
never know until it's over.
yeah, I didn't know I was until I was out of the situation that, oh my gosh, like you just let this man run over you. And there's so much that you have to unpack with that of like, I know that they slowly do it and they slowly chip away at you, but being able to recognize and understand and see the situation that you're in. Because when we talk about self love, it isn't just bubble baths. It isn't just saying, it's saying no, it's setting the boundaries and it's deciding that you're worth more. Is looking and reflecting on your life. We're going to
Yeah.
give you a journal prompt today on that reflection of where am I not accepting where am I not loving myself right now?
I'm telling you, like it's so funny you said that self love isn't just bubble baths. You know, it's not just a glass of wine. It's not just bubble baths.
Mhm.
It's not just let me get a pedicure. It's the work. It's the work you have to put in order to reshape your mental capacity to think differently, to apply things to yourself differently. So being able to, and I said earlier that you never realize you weren't pouring self love into yourself until it's over. But there are people who can witness it because of prior situations in their
Mhm.
lifetimes or things that they've went through. They were like, hold on now, like not like us. Prime example, like us, we know we're like, oh no, that's not about to go down because we've already been in a place to where we can reshape the way we think, don't allow it to oppress us, and move forward, into a different perspective. So there are shout out to the people who can recognize it immediately and the people who did the work to make sure that they can recognize those things for sure.
Exactly. I feel like, that's the one thing when I started dating my now husband. Once I had been a single mom and I had been healing myself for 6 years on this journey. And the first thing I told him is, I'm not going to accept this. I'm not going to accept cheating. I'm not going to accept you talking down to me. I'm not going to accept this, and this, and this. And I had like these standards that, once you have those standards for yourself and those boundaries and you have those things, but sometimes you can get so lost and you want to feel loved. You think you can fix them. You think you can do all these things and you can't. And being able to walk away and knowing what your limits are is so important.
Yeah, and the first thing we do is reach outside. We reach
Mhm.
outside for that. We look for that outside. Like I need to find something that's going to make me feel loved, and it's multiple times that we just really need to reach within to figure out is something going on inside that we don't know that we're not. It's something going on that's not allowing us to love ourselves the way we deserve. And then once we know what we deserve, we can apply that to everybody else in the world, everybody else in our lives.
Exactly. So let's dive into, where are three places in your life that you could probably look at and see if you have self love? That would be, self awareness. How self that I was just telling someone today. I was like, maybe I was reflecting on an issue I was having, and I was like, where am I not being self aware in this decision and this discussion? Why am I feeling the way I'm feeling on the inside? Where am I not showing up? And so what I did was I journaled through it. I talked through it with myself. I'm like, okay, this is my issue that I'm having. Where am I not being self aware? Where am I missing the pieces? Other actions that you can also do is mirror work. We'll be having videos on that. Um, self trust. Next thing you want to do is and look at is self trust. Where are you not trusting yourself right now? Are you keeping promises to yourself? Are you doing what you said you were going to do? And that's one thing that was so important to me, is the self trust, because I always felt like I lied to myself. I would set, those goals at the beginning of January, or on Monday I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that, and I would not keep the promises to myself, and I would lose my trust in myself. So I've
That
started to do like these little small action steps. Like, one thing is I want to lose weight. So I'm getting up every single morning and I'm resetting my self trust with walking for 15 minutes.
yeah.
I'm having that like what's the word I'm looking for? The reconfirmation of the self trust. You say you're going to do something, and then I do it.
Yeah, I definitely love the three simple actions, the three simple pillars. It's basically telling you, say you're going through a situation, you need to be aware in that situation. It's time for you to, because our first human instinct, and that is completely okay, is to act emotionally because that's what we do. The first thing that's happened is why is this or what's not going? So immediately you need to be self-aware. You need to take action and accountability. Like, okay, I feel some kind of way, and that's okay that I feel some kind of way. But what can I do right now to notice what's going on. I have to be my biggest self critic, right, at that moment, right? Self trust. Trust yourself to know that eventually I'm going to make sure that I get through this. I'm going to make sure that I can move forward past this process. Now, I need to keep this promise to myself because I said I'm going to do so. And then afterwards, giving yourself permission to be okay with the fact that this happened. I took the steps to move forward to decide what I need to do to reset and be better for the next time. So those three actionable pillars are definitely into self love, dive into so much deeper things when it comes to everything in life. You can apply this to everything in your life when it comes to the way you want to be treated, when it comes to when you're going through emotional, we're emotional beings. Let's keep it real. Like when you're going through a feeling of I'm mad, I'm sad, I'm irritated, we don't want to act on that because we don't want to show any emotional immaturity, right? We're trying to be better, right? We're not toddlers, unfortunately, even though we want to have these temper tantrums. Like it's easier to
Let me
have the
pop my
temper
feet a little
tantrum.
bit.
Girl, it's easier to have the temper tantrum. Way easier. I'm talking about, I don't want to do this. Stop. Like, I want to scream. So, a funny quick story. Uh, my husband's nickname for me is Baby Crash Out. Because if I get overwhelmed, I'm like, I don't want to. And he's like, oh, here come Baby Crash Out. And then when he says it, I'm immediately self aware because I don't like it. It's funny,
Mhm.
right? But I'm like, nah, like, you right, let me think for a second, like, but that's his way to get me back together, you know what I mean? So these, I really think that, if we take these actions and these steps within our self-love journey and not just think of it as a glass of wine and not just think of it as, oh, a bubble bath's going to make me feel better, getting your nails done, like that's self-care,
Mhm.
like that's self-care, so we got to reframe it and actually put the work towards these goals for sure.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think self-care is, a subcategory of
Yes.
self-love for
Mhm.
sure. You know, we have to love ourselves enough to care for ourselves and to make sure that we are doing the things that light us up, or like lighting the candles and having the bubble baths and having the everything showers, and taking time to prioritize that. Because like even if you're in a deep depression and it just feels overwhelming to even take a shower, like just doing that one act is self-love to you.
Definitely.
So a
It's a
hundred
level.
percent sometimes
Levels to
you
this.
gotta baby step that. Sometimes you can't do the everything shower.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need to hop in and wash your hair because it's been like 10 days. And you
Yeah.
know what? That bad boy's getting a little greasy.
And then you're gonna feel good. The air is gonna be lighter around you. You release some of that negative energy that's been clinging
Mhm.
onto you. You're basically, like you said, self care is a big subcategory of self love. Like
Mhm.
like I love to have my hair done. I love to have my nails done. But when it's not done, I don't love myself any less. It's just I'm
Mhm.
like, oh, it's so pretty. I wish I had my nails done. Like it's just
Yeah,
it's a subcategory. So yeah, I definitely agree with that as well.
exactly. I know I'm a whole different person. You can't tell me nothing when I have my toes done. You
Oh,
can't. Ooh,
talking about
no
sandals. It's cold. Sandals. With
sandals.
cut
Oh,
the
do you see my
socks.
toes right now? Do you
Look,
see
look,
me? No
cut
socks.
the top off the sand. Cut the top. Look, cut the top off the socks.
Exactly. You're
I'm
gonna
sure
see
it's a
these toes.
style.
It was back in the 80s with the little
Leg
leg
warmers.
warmers.
You're right. I just thought about it. Basically, leg warmers. I love me
Basically
some
leg
leg
warmers, or like those tights without the that you put over your foot, but without the
warmers.
toes in them.
Yeah.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
I'm We're going for it. Yeah, when my toes are done. So that's something that, when you look at these different things and figuring out, okay, you're doing the inner work, you're becoming self-aware, you're doing the journaling, you're doing the mirror work, you're noticing your inner critic, you are building self-trust with yourself, you're keeping promises to yourself, right? And now what we want to do is we want to create self-expansion. We want to give ourselves permission to dream bigger and actually take action. That's one thing that is huge on my list for now until the end of the year, is I am diving into self-expansion. I am figuring out, what do I want to have with my life? Where am I going? Where am I? holding myself back? Why am I holding myself back? Where am I, again, not trusting myself to expand? Where am I not going bigger, doing bigger things, and giving myself excuses? Like that is something that I am really focusing on in my life. So let us know in the comments, what is one thing that you're going to give yourself permission to dream bigger? Do you want to lose the weight? Do you want to learn how to garden? Like, I don't know what's been on your bucket list that you keep putting off. You're saying
Mhm.
you don't have time. I'm a mom, I'm busy, I'm this, I'm that, I'm pouring into everyone, but I'm not pouring into myself. What's the one thing that you could learn and do by the end of the year that would just give you joy?
Yes, I love that. Like,
Hmm.
what do you want to do and actually decide to take action to do that goal? Like, what is something you've been putting off? Like, basically, it's giving New Year's resolution. Oh, I want to lose weight, and you give up by January 15th, right? You don't want to be
Hmm.
that person. You have to figure out, like, what is it something that I know? And it doesn't have to be anything large. Just promise yourself something that you actually want to do. And imagine how good you're going to feel. Like, yep, I did that. You don't even need anybody else's recognition. That's literally pouring into yourself, just being grateful at the fact that you did that. You told yourself, this is what I'm going to do for me, and I'm going to make sure it gets done. I'm going to water my grass. I'm going to plant me some seeds. Like, prime example, you said garden. That's why I smiled. When as soon as I moved into my new house, I planted some seeds, and I am living off that some of that food, and I'm grateful because that's things I don't have to buy, right?
Exactly.
But it's just something I did, and because my mom does it, and I'm like, I wanted to do that, so I did it. Like, let's go ahead and make it happen. That's something we did as my husband and me, as a unit. So, it's what is the one thing you want to do? Do you want to exercise more? Do you want to lose the weight? Start off slow. Do 5 to 10 squats a day. At least you did that. Something's going to change. Change the way you eat twice on the weekend. Change the way you eat during the week and only eat bad on the weekend. Pick something that'll work for you
Hmm.
and promise yourself that. Because if you're not keeping the promises to yourself, who you gonna expect to keep promises to you?
Exactly.
Like,
That's the one thing. I mean, that's exactly what I have done is I try to overcomplicate everything in my life. But with weight loss, I've always been a yo-yo type of person. I gain the weight, I lose the weight. I gain the weight, I lose the weight. And so one thing I'm just doing is I'm making it a transformational journey now versus just wanting that instant result. So I'm walking in the morning, I'm walking in the evening, I'm tracking my calories during the week. I've given myself permission on the weekend. You're not tracking your calories. You're not overdoing it. So I'm not burning out. I'm drinking my water. I'm making sure that I'm getting the proper amount of hydration with myself. I'm making sure that instead of hamburger meat, I'm eating turkey. Instead of bacon, I'm doing turkey bacon. I'm doing like those little adjustments, one to lower my calorie intake so I can eat more, but two, and instead of snacking on chips, I'm snacking on fruits and veggies. I'm doing different things like that. And that has been helping me just keep it. I'm not drinking during the week just to, and then when I do, I used to drink like a tall, very heavily caloried beer once a night. That was like my thing. Now I've adjusted, and then I decided, you know what? Well, I don't. I'm gonna try to like not drink during the week, and I'll just drink on the weekends, or I'll drink every other week or every other day or something like that. So
yeah,
just figure out like what is it the thing that, and now I'm trying to just figure out now fun ways of just moving my body. If you don't follow at Fit with Quiche, make sure you do, because one thing I can say is just like she's inspired me to just dance and move my body. And just, I've learned from Quiche that my chakras are blocked, and when I move my body and I release that energy, I feel like a completely different person. Like I have goals, so I switched off of music, and I just always been stuck in podcasts. And I just decided, let me just, love my inner child a little bit. Let me turn on some music and dance around my kitchen while I'm cooking. And that just was an amazing feeling. And I didn't know I needed that. I didn't know that that was the self love that I needed at that moment.
Yes, I love that. I absolutely love that. I'm glad that you poured into yourself, like, and it doesn't have to be anything big. Like you just said, you danced in the kitchen while you were playing
Mhm.
music and making food and had a good time just enjoying your inner child. Like, we're always pent up, gotta be adults, gotta be the mom, gotta be the adult, the worker, gotta be the co-worker, gotta be wife. Like, we can't ever just be childish and do what we want to do. Like, and it's not even being childish. I mean, childish is great. It's not a bad thing. Who labeled it as a bad thing? You actually,
Mhm.
when you get creative. Like, I did a painting this weekend, a random painting that came out to my in my head when I went over to one of my husband's fellow airmen's wife's house. So she had paintings set up because we didn't want to watch the fight. So she had paintings set up in the back, and I was just like, I saw something on TikTok. Let me just see if I can recreate it. And just sitting there for that hour doing that painting, like not talking to anybody, just being creative. I got paint on my hands. Don't get me wrong, I had a cute outfit, so I had a towel on me, but I'm like, I got paint all on my. I'm just enjoying the moment of being creative, living
Mhm.
in the moment of creativity. Like, when do you get to do things like that? Living in your inner child, giving your inner child the permission to be who it is, like, is one of
Mhm.
the biggest self love things you can do for yourself. Like, go
Yeah,
down
and
there.
it's not just talking. I literally just had like a aha moment of where I stopped giving myself permission to just be fun is with my ex. He would always tell me, stop being so childish. Don't do that. Like that, you're being childish. Like, stop. And so I had, from then, I just kind of really suppressed like that bubbly, fun energy because I was being too childish. And so it's like, let's take this moment and do a little self-reflection. Have a journal. If you don't have a journal now, like come back to this video. But I want you to really journal, where did you lose your inner child? Where did you lose that fun and that joy and get just sucked into adult world and just haven't laughed or you haven't done the things that you truly enjoyed, and self-reflect on that.
What was that realization that you realized, like, oh
Mhm.
wow, like after today, maybe you didn't even realize you neglected your inner child. Maybe it wasn't until today. Like, what was the moment? Think about it. Take a moment, light that candle, sit in some nice serene smells and some incense, and just write out what you feel about it. What is it that
Mhm.
made you make that shift, and then decide what you want to do from there and how you want to actually change that.
Exactly. And also, while you're doing that, find out, like, if you truly loved yourself, I would, and finish the sentence. What would you do? Or what are you currently doing? Where are you being neglectful? This goes back into self-awareness. This goes back into actually taking the time. One thing I've learned is that I've gotten and I was stuck in fight or flight. And when you're in that hustle and bustle of everyday life and you're like, you don't even have a time to like just sit, reflect, and think about, where do you see your life? What do you want? I tell my clients that this is what we call creating your seven-figure version of yourself, or creating your higher self. What is that? What do you even want? And even though I do that and I have done that, sometimes I just forget of who she is and I don't reflect. So, one thing I've really been trying to do every single day is I have my journal right here at my workstation. And I have just been journaling I've been creating the habit. I get up, I go for a walk, I come inside, and I just sit and I take a few minutes to myself and I just journal about, what am I happy for? What am I grateful for? What are the top things that I have gratitude for? What are the things that I really want to see in myself? Where am I what am I focusing on for the day? And that has been like a big game changer.
Yeah, I love that. Excuse me. I love that. I definitely have a routine. You have to have a
Mhm.
routine, something that you do every day. I don't journal as much as I should, but I'm starting to get back into the habit of scripting, happening to the habit of journaling because it's very important, right?
Mhm.
And in order to become more, you have to consistently do the work. So, with that being said, I was looking at I think oh no, I was looking at everything basically self love, right? So self love is the root of overflow. Without it, you'll sabotage, you'll settle, or you'll stop
Mhm.
yourself from becoming the best you can actually be, right? So you have to put that work into what you think is the best action for yourself. Like what will make you the best you can be, right? And
Mhm.
doing these journal prompts, I think will definitely bring that perspective forward to you to make you think about it more. Like, okay, how can I stop sabotaging myself? What can I do to make myself the best her? What can I do to become the best her I can be now, today?
Mhm. Exactly. That's how you start shifting your energy. That's how you start attracting and opening yourself up for change. That's how you we close ourselves off and our energy off from different because we just close it off. We stop. And that's why I'm so passionate about this. That's why we want all the women to become her now. We want to have that. And self love is literally the first step to everything else. You have to have that. It starts with taking that time and pouring into yourself. But when you combine it with aligned action and embodied practices, that's when you move from the surviving to overflowing. And every single day, we want to see women win and succeed. And when you're in that energy, like attracts like. That's just how the law of attraction works. Like attracts like. And so when you are in that energy, that's how you get more of that to yourself. So that's why we want you to join the Becoming Her the Overflow membership. If you feel like that's something that you would want to learn more about, you're like, hey, I don't know who these two women on here are, but I like and I understand what they're saying. I'm feeling what they're saying. Maybe you just are intrigued and you wanted to learn a little bit more. We just want to invite you to look at becoming her the Overflow membership. This is something that we have been creating for the last few months because of all of the women that we are around and involved with and talk to is the fact that we have poured everything that has helped us change our lives completely.
Yes.
Like I said, I went from an abusive, awful relationship to now and broke single mom living in poverty to now running a six-figure business with my husband. And literally everything that changed my life completely from 7 years ago was mindset, action, and I've just now been starting the embodiment thanks to Shakisha.
Yes, I'm telling you, the mind having the mindset to rewrite old patterns is definitely something that is a hell of a good tool that you need in your
Mhm.
repertoire. Having the clear steps to move forward, to take action, to go ahead and say, "This is what I'm going to do." My mind is clear. I've already have passed the mindset perspective. My mind is clear. Now I need to move forward and taking action and being able to embody this feeling, this experience through crystals, meditation, tools, things that can just assist you on your journey is definitely another plus when it comes to the foundations of becoming her. This is definitely something that we are excited about. We can't wait. If this is something that you're looking to do, if you're looking to become the best you can be today, not tomorrow, today, the first day you start. Right. Before you even get in the course, like when you sign up for the priority list, you're just going to get a quick snippet that you can use right here and now. Like if this is something that you're serious about and you are ready to change your mindset, take the action and embody the energy and the experience of becoming her, please don't wait. Join this membership. You will not regret it.
Yeah, I agree. Because I feel like that is the greatest act of self-love that you can give yourself is deciding that you're worthy of more and surrounding yourself with other women who are on this journey with you. So you don't quit on you. Because I just know it took me 6 years to figure out what has actually worked for me and that has helped propel myself forward. We are so easy that when life is hard and when we feel overwhelmed, we want to just stay in that energy. We want to stay stuck in that feeling. Sometimes you just want to, like, Shakisha was saying, it's pout and throw the tantrum and,
Hmm.
have those feelings. And you have to release those feelings. I always tell my daughters, feel your feelings, but then what are you going to do about it?
Yep.
Have those. I only give myself 24 hours to have a crash out and to then, okay, what am I going to do? How am I going to move myself forward? Because staying stuck, and I stayed stuck to being a victim in my own life for far too long. And when I decided that I wasn't going to do that anymore, when I decided I was going to create my own reality, when I decided that I was going to change my life completely, that's when everything just shifted for me.
Yeah.
And that's why we want you to hop on the priority notification list. If we are going to be launching out the paid membership soon. So if you want more information, the link will be in the description. And you can just click on it and check it out if you like. Just welcome. You don't have to. We're here. We'll be here every single Monday to give
Hmm.
you advice and take what's working for us in our self-love journeys and bring it on out to you. And if you have um, any situations or questions that you want to ask us, make sure to drop them in the comments below, and we definitely will check them out and bring them on to our next one.
Definitely.
Well, I hope you guys all have a great Monday. Pour into yourself, do your journal prompts, do
Yeah.
some self-reflection, and see where you're at. And if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And we'll see you next Monday.
Yay.